for the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. I'm Micah Frankel, and I'm lucky enough to be joined by UFC middleweight superstar Joe Pyfer. How you feeling, sir?
Feeling good, feeling skinny.
Feeling skinny. That's good to hear. Wondered when we talk about how you're feeling, how long it took after the ordeal in Mexico for you to start feeling like you again.
A couple weeks, man. I felt fucked up for about 3 weeks afterwards. So I did a whole parasite cleanse and everything because I thought I had a parasite, which I didn't. But yeah, whatever it was, whatever bacteria I got, it definitely screwed with my gut for a good couple weeks. So I'm thankful that we got the fight rebooked, and obviously it's still against Kelvin, which I was very grateful for. I think when you face off with a man and then you don't fight him, you have unfinished business. So we get to settle the score, man, and I'm glad he's about it too. So got nothing but respect for the guy so far, and yeah, man, it screwed with me for a little bit. I'll never go back to fight there, at least.
You have that agonizing 3 weeks of recovery. Was the rematch on your mind when you were healthy? Was that the first
It
thought?
was on my mind the second the fight got called off. Trust me. And they said that he didn't have to accept the fight. That was the possibility. He could say no, but luckily he was a man and he said yes. And we get to run it back the proper way and see who's the better fighter. So it was the first thing on my mind is can we push it back for next weekend, the weekend after. But in hindsight, I'm glad it wasn't such a close reschedule because again, I had complications when I left Mexico.
Does it feel like a long 5 months thinking about Kelvin?
Yeah, just in the sense that I've had like double dreams about the fucking guy and every way that this can end as far as the result and how the fight plays out. But I'm just ready to fight, man. I don't really have much more to think about. You know what I mean? I've thought about everything I can and I've prepared in every way that I can, and I think it's been a blessing in disguise, and it worked out for the better in the end.
When you end up having this now second camp, is it just a whole lot of reiterating the same thoughts and ideas from the first one, or was there time of revisiting and kind of tweaking the game plan?
No, just kind of continuation of what we had already had planned. And just getting better at it. You know what I mean? So just fine tuning it and really getting those things fine tuned. That's it. So just a continuation.
Uh, I've heard in other interviews you've mentioned that it's a good opportunity. We know that Kelvin, Ultimate Fighter winner, he has the resume from the interim title fights, a lot of big moments that he's had. What is it specifically about this opportunity that you've liked so much?
The name. He's fought for the title. He's had a great fight against Izzy. He's fought the toughest guys of the division. So it's just a good name, man. And obviously he's a vet and he likes to stand and bang. So do I. Um, but I have a feeling he's going to shoot on me. So we're ready for everything. It's going to be fun.
In
But yeah,
that
that's it. He's just got a good name, man. He's the next guy.
in that stand and bang possibility, how much of an adjustment is it for you? You're used to being the bigger guy in the octagon, but at 5'9", that's a really shorter middleweight here. So how much of an adjustment was it for you to work on that target lower?
None. I'm not really picky like that, man. I'll train with anybody, big, small, fat, thin. It doesn't matter. I'm used to sparring everybody. I spar everybody of all kinds of body types. So for me, it's a little bit easier. I think just because one of my teammates and Sean Brady obviously is fought Kelvin, is the same height as Kelvin, just obviously a more in shape version. And yeah, man, it's not really hard. I do very well with short people. So.
Do very well with short people. I might have to, title that on the interview. We know a unfortunate part of the narrative of what's been a part of your career is having to battle back from injuries and from illness. Does that just feel like it's par for the course of you being this underdog that's constantly had to overcome?
Just my journey, man. I don't know if it's anything, more than that. It's just unfortunately that's just how my career has been. And only until I turned like 24 on did I have such bad luck with injuries. And when you train this hard and you're training with the level of guys that I'm training with, like you're bound to get hurt. But unfortunately, it's set me back as far as how active I'd like to be. And it is what it is. But these are the cards I'm dealt. Luckily, I'm still in the UFC, and my skills will keep me there, and I plan to stay here. So Saturday, as long as I'm healthy, which I am now, and I'm 100% ready to go, then we'll let our skills do the talking and keep us in the UFC a little longer.
A lot of people have talked about that there's a chip on your shoulder. Is it a chip or has that just given you more of a edge to take into fights?
What chip on my shoulder are you talking about?
Just I've heard it in other interviews and people throw it out when they talk about you that there's a chip on your shoulder. I'm not sure if you could describe
Yeah,
what that means.
I think what people describe is just because I'm pretty blunt and unapologetically myself, which I'm proud of, and because I think there's a lot of fake characters in this, and I know I don't say things all the time that people like, and that's fine. Fuck them. Like that's just how I am. That's how I've always been, and that's why I've always chose the sport. I was definitely a little bit nicer before the Jack Hermanson loss, but then I got to see how many fucking shitbags are out there that sit there and judge us fighters that have never had the balls to do a training camp like we have or competed at the level that we have. And, I just kind of lost my love for the fans a little bit as far as the negative ones. I used to not care and I still don't care now. But, now it's like I don't even look at the comments because it's stupid. And if I do, it's literally because I'm trolling back. So maybe that's part of the chip. But also when I get in there, if that's, if we're talking about a fighting chip, um, you're trying to take something from me, man. So I'm trying to get you out of there. I'm not in there to play a point game. I'm in there to cause damage and hurt you and finish you and get paid and get the fuck out.
See, I wouldn't put the chip on the shoulder as the first way. I'd look at Joe Pyfer and I'd talk about the confidence as the first thing that I see when I look at you and I've seen you fight because we've seen the power and the way you go out there and assert yourself. I'd use confidence as the first descriptor. How do you feel about
Yeah.
that one?
No, 100%. You're accurate. I believe in myself. I believe in my power. I believe in my skills, and I believe in my preparation. And I've never believed in my preparation more than for this fight. And I think I have to make some type of fucking catastrophic mistake to lose this, or I just don't show up mentally. But I'm very present, like I said, and I feel very good. And I know I did the work, man, and then some. So yeah, I don't think that there's anything Kelvin's going to throw at me that I'm not able to handle and adjust to. So I'm ready to go, man. Confidence is 100% correct.
And I know normally people during these interviews ask, what's the prediction? I've seen out there, you're thinking you finish Kelvin inside two. Is there a specific kind of finish that you're seeing ahead? You don't even have to tell us what it is.
Nah, man. Obviously, I hope that it's a KO/TKO because nobody's done it. So that's what I will be aiming for as far as my desired result. But if it's not there, then I'll choke his ass out too. At the end of the day, I'm here for two checks and I'm there to win, and I don't care how I win. But I do care about the effort I give to try and secure that finish. Like I said, I'm a hunter, man, and I'm out there to get that kill shot. I'm not in there to go fucking play trap the mouse, trying to kill the mouse.
And the very last thing I got for you, Joe, is we know that the documentary is out, Journey to the UFC. What is your hope or your desire of what people should take away from watching that film?
Yeah, it's not a pity party film. Obviously it has its emotional moments, just because they were emotional for me, and that's my life's hardest story is where I come from and the things I had to endure, which we couldn't really describe in detail. But it's just about kids that have come from troubled homes or abusive homes that, hey, listen, like as long as you stay in something that demands discipline, um, and demands you to push to a higher level than yourself that you think you're capable of, stay in sports and try to stay positive. At the end of the day, like I had no direction and sports saved my life. So I just stay in sports and try to pursue something greater than yourself and see yourself as a UFC champion or see yourself as the head of a corporate place or an engineer or whatever the unspoken is. Let it come to life and trust it and just pursue it, man. So I hope it reaches a lot of kids that have had fucked up backgrounds like myself.
Joe Pyfer, thank you for the time, sir.
Thanks, bud.